So hello everyone, and welcome back to Soccer Unboxing. So welcome to my August 2024 figure and merch haul. Just gonna jump right into it because again there's a whole bunch of items to go through. So without further ado, let us get started. So going into the pickups for the month, I have 2 merch items, 1 Nendoroid, 2 Nendoroid dolls, 2 Pop-Up Parade figures, and then 5 scale figures to go through. So of course we'll start off with the merch. And of course, pretty much the 2 pieces of merch I picked up are FGO related. So the first one we have right here is this Oberon standee. This is the Fate Grand Order You've Lost Ritsuka Fujimaru Tsuchida new illustration Oberon flower viewing version, big acrylic standee. So yeah, another thing for my Oberon collection. I really like the outfit he's in. Yeah, so this is from a line based off an illustration I might just pop up on screen. They made a couple of different merch items for this series, and of course, I just picked up the Oberon standee and one more that I got for like September. But yeah, very nice big acrylic standee and yet another thing for my Oberon collection. And then the last item I have, of course, is FGO material number 15. As per usual, I like picking these up for the artwork on the inside, and $11, not that expensive at all for a book that is also colored. And also, these aren't big, I should say, so they won't take up too much space like on a bookshelf. So once again, very cool art book, and yet another one for my collection. So going into the figures now, the first one I have is the Spice and Wolf Hollow Nendoroid. So I got her to go with the Hollow Nendoroid doll that I have for the accessories, because again, Nendoroid dolls just have the clothing and that's about it. So I got her off of AmiAmi and not Good Smile. On the Good Smile online shop, it did come with a bonus, but it didn't really bother me too much if I skipped out on that, comparing it to getting her off of AmiAmi and just combining her with some of my other orders. So yeah. Very cute. So she does come with different expressions. So she comes with a smiling expression, a teasing expression, and a tipsy expression, which looks so cute. That's what I have her displayed with now. She also has an apple, this little wooden, it's supposed to be a cup with wine in it, and of course different other accessories like this cute little hat to cover her ears. And yeah, I feel like she's very well done with the clothing, the hair, even her little wolf ears. Unfortunately on my copy, the tail is a little bit rough on like the white parts in terms of the sculpt, which is a shame. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty nice and solid Nendoroid. So this is of course a re-release, so she originally came out in August of 2017, then got re-released in November of 2019, and then again August of 2024. And I think she was a little bit expensive in the aftermarket, so yeah, it's nice to pick her up for retail price. So I got a little bit of a story with this Nendoroid because I made a little oopsie on my end. And that is the fact that I have 2 Hollow Nendoroids. Again, I wasn't paying attention at checkout and I bought 2 on accident. At least it wasn't 2 scale figures or else I would have been in trouble. Because I thought they sent this to me for free or something when I looked at in the package when it arrived at my home. But no, I was a fool, I wasn't paying attention. But at least I can put this Nendoroid towards a giveaway in the future, so at least there's that. So someone is going to be lucky enough to win this sealed copy of this Nendoroid. But yeah, so despite my one little defect on my Nendoroid, she turned out very cute. Such nice expressions and accessories, so yeah, I'm excited to maybe customize the Hollow Nendoroid doll with these accessories. And then we're moving on to the next 2 figures. Of course, I picked up some original character Nendoroid dolls. We have the Chinese style panda Mahjong Laurier, and then we have the Hot Pot star Anise. So yeah, I think these 2 turned out fantastic with their one faceplate that they had. The eyes, like the detail in them are very well done. And then also the hair with like the gradient from like the black to like white and then to red is very cleanly done, which is very nice. And the clothing details on here are once again fantastic. I really like the sort of gold chrome bits. I like the little pandas on here. They're made of a little bit of a harder material, which is nice. And again, the designs of these outfits I just adore so much. And I'd say I have a relatively fun time putting these Nendoroid dolls together with the clothing. And yeah, such very cute little character designs and very nice sculpting on the hair as well. I will admit, I think on the Mahjong figure, the little guy with the, like, the black and white hair, it was kind of tricky to put his outfit on because you kind of have to, like, it's like layered in a way, which is a little bit tricky to put together. But yeah, they are, again, just very cute. And these guys do have like a couple of accessories, which is nice. So besides the clothing, Mahjong, he's got this little teapot and Mahjong piece, and then Anise has this little fan and chopsticks. So yeah, two very cute Nendoroid dolls to add to my collection. So now moving on to another set of figures, we have these two Pop-Up Parade large figures, the first ones I've ever ordered, and these are the Pop-Up Parade Character Vocal Series number 2, Kagamine, Rin, and Len Bring It On versions, large sized by Good Small Company. So yeah, I picked these up because I really like the designs of these two. They look very nice as a set. And these are a little bit bigger than I thought they were gonna be. Again, I don't really invest into pop-up parades, unless it's a character who doesn't have any other figure, who again, if I really like the character, then that's when I'll probably pick them up. But yeah, so seeing these two, I feel like they turned out very well. Again, with pop-up parades, there really isn't no, like, shading on these, or else it probably cost more. But in terms of the sculpt work on these two, I think they both look amazing with their hair, the wrinkles and folds on the outfits, and then also their facial expressions. I feel like the eyes look very well done on both of them, and the mouth sculpts as well, with especially because they have little sharp teeth. They even have this little decal on like their one of the front hair pieces, which is applied very well. But yeah, I feel like the bases are, you know, not too big on these two, which is quite nice. And yeah, I think they look very nice together as a set of figures. So if you like these two Vocaloid characters, I definitely recommend picking them up. Or if you just collect Vocaloid characters in general, I think these two would be a very nice addition to the collection. So yeah, I think they did a very fantastic job with these two Pop-Up Parade large figures. And now we're moving on to another Pokemon Artifacts J figure, which is the Florian with Fuecoco 1/8 scale figure by Kotobukiya. Again, Scarlet and Violet trainer design, you know, without customization. Not my favorite, and I feel like a lot of people's, like, not favorite trainer design. But again, I feel like Kotobukiya does a fantastic job with these figures. Again, the sculpt work is great, the paint application as well. Even though there might not be a lot of shading to these guys. But yeah, again, my favorite part of at least like the Scarlet and Violet trainers is like, in these figures is the backpack. I just think the sculpt work is very well done. The silver paint is applied well. And again, the logo of the Academy is applied very neatly for how small of a detail that is. And it's not really off-center or anything, so I give props to Kotobukiya for that. And again, I think the eyes look very nice on him. So I actually ordered him when he was still available on AmiAmi during August. So yeah, no one else wanted to pick it up. He wasn't sold out or anything, so I just said, hey, he's about $86. I just decided to pick him up. And then of course we have Fuecoco. Very, very cute. Love the little expression on this guy. He's a little bit bigger than I thought he was gonna be. But yeah, pretty good size on him. And I do like how the little tuft of hair at the top of him is transparent. Like this transparent orange, which I think is cool. And so once again, with assembly, he's already on the base, already screwed on there, and then you just put Fuecoco wherever you want. So I'd say, once again, yet another solid Pokemon Artifacts J figure. And now moving on to this scale figure, which is the Onmyoji Abe no Seme 1/7 Lunar Corona version by Good Small Art Shanghai. Long-haired boys, again, they steal my heart. I'm a sucker for them. this character is from a mobile game, which I have played a little bit of in the past, but then I stopped quite a while ago. But this figure just drew me in. I just really love the color scheme, of course. So yeah, before getting to any details, the assembly. So first, you put him on the base, which was kind of tricky because his one foot really wouldn't like align with the peg. And unfortunately with the left foot, I did scrape some of the paint off like right at like where his toes are, but thankfully you really can't see it. It just wasn't lining up, and his legs are pretty like of like a stiff material, so it was hard to push forward. So I took a little bit of an L with that, but at least I can't see that mistake. And then you just put the fan in, which in the instructions it tells you which way it's kind of supposed to like line up. And yeah, he holds it pretty well. Like if I shake him a little bit, he doesn't drop it, which is very nice. And yeah, it's quite easy assembly besides the first little part at the beginning. And yeah, so I do like how of course the base is also very small. I always appreciate that with figures and how it's not obnoxiously big for what this figure is. And then the color scheme, I just love the dark blue, the light blue, and those pops of gold look absolutely amazing on him. And yeah, the wrinkles and folds, the shading looks very nice in a lot of areas. The little decals that they put on, like you can tell that, you know, some of the gold details are decaled on there, and also on his sleeves as well. The hair sculpt, I give him my chef's kiss of approval for, you know, handsome long-haired boys. The way the ponytail just kind of flows out looks very nice, and of course like his front hair looks very nice. And then of course his face, like his eyes, I like the way they look. It's kind of piercing, very small, so it's kind of nice that they, you know, applied it very well. And yeah, so I'd say this is a pretty solid figure. He was roughly $130, which I feel like is worth it for, like, again, the details, what they had to do with this figure. And so yeah, if you live on Myoji, then I recommend picking this figure up. You know, I still would like NetEase games to, you know, hopefully come back from the grave to work on some other of the cancelled figures that they had, because again, I was really looking forward to picking them up, but unfortunately they're just not doing too well right now. But yeah, I'll settle with this figure of Samei. Again, I think he just turned out fantastic. So now moving on to this B-style figure right here, we have the Kekemotsu original bunny Hajime Aotsugi 1/4 scale figure by Freeing. So yes, Kekemotsu has had some illustrations made to figures in the past, and they've mainly been not safe for work. However, this one is safe for work, which I'm kind of surprised about. But yeah, I picked it up because I liked the character design and, you know, the jacket. I do like the color that they have on here. So yeah, going into the assembly, which I had to do some things just to make some parts fit. So putting her feet on the base was, you know, where I had to take my little Swiss Army knife, because her right leg, like the, you know, the front, like the peg, not the metal peg, but like the plastic peg on the base itself, and the hole was not lining up, so I had to kind of shave a little bit of it off just to make it fit, and thankfully it worked and no mishaps happened. And then of course just taking off the replacement bunny ears and putting the actual ones on there. And yeah, so besides that issue, it's pretty straightforward assembly, and I do really like the way that she came out. Thankfully mine doesn't have any, you know, quality control issues, because Freeing, they for the most part tend to have that. I think the jacket sculpt is quite well done with the paintwork and the lines of the white on there as well. I really do like the white pearlescent bunny suit with some hints again of like lighter purple in there, which is nice to define some of those, you know, curves and wrinkles and folds. And then the sculpting on the hair I think is well done, like on her bangs, and then the braid I think looks very nice. I just really love the way that it looks and the way it just kind of flows out a little bit. And I feel like, again, there's some subtle shading on there. I'm just, again, where I'm sitting, it's just a little bit dark, so I can't really tell too well. And of course, body sculpt is very well done. And the tights, once again, very nicely like applied to the figure. Nothing is ripped or anything. And facial expression, very nice crisp and clean eyes, and her lips look like they have like a little bit of like gloss on them, which is a very nice touch. And the base is kind of nothing to write home about, but I'm glad it's not obnoxiously big, which is nice. So yeah, I feel like she turned out pretty well, pretty solid B style. So yeah, if you love Kekematsu's character designs, I highly recommend picking her up. I think she turned out pretty great overall. And now we're moving on to the second to last figure for the month, which is the Heaven Official's Blessing Hua Chong 1/7 scale figure by Good Small Art Shanghai. Now, this one was kind of a no-brainer pre-order for me. Like, this is his first ever scale figure. The series has so many handsome long-haired boys. I cannot resist them. So yeah, I pre-ordered him off of Good Small Online Shop, and it did come with a bonus that I'll show off, which is of this Shikishi, which has the original illustration on it. It has this glittery border, and the background itself is also kind of glittery as well. Also, I feel like this is kind of like layered a little bit because, you know, the background, but then you have like Hua Chong. He's kind of like a little bit more forward, like you can see kind of maybe like a little shadow underneath like the illustration of him, which I think is kind of a little cool thing with this. So yeah, I wish maybe this was a little bit bigger. I thought it was going to be, but I can't complain. It's a very gorgeous illustration of him, so very nice little bonus if you got him off of the Good Small Online Shop. And then onto the figure himself. So with the assembly, it was painless, surprisingly. So he's already on the base, and then the only thing you have to really attach is this like red bloodstream with the butterfly on it. There's 3 different like holes in the base, and you just simply put them in and you're all done. I did have to pull like one of these little parts in the back, like underneath the chair, like of the bloodstream. So I just had to be careful about that, but it was very painless, surprisingly. I remember when I did like my pre-orders video for 2024, he was like an honorable mention for one I was thinking of doing a figure review on, which again, I actually don't plan on doing, but my god, I wish now I probably did, because the assembly was painless. It's only just one piece you have to put in. So yeah, it's like, why are the figures I want to review have like so many parts to put together, and it can be very annoying, while this guy is just very easy. I don't get it. But yeah, going on to the figure himself, he's just amazing. I really don't have any heavy complaints with him in terms of paint defects, sculpting errors, or anything like that. So starting off with Hua Chong himself, fine as hell. Again, the wrinkles and folds on his clothing is amazing. His hair sculpt, I give it my chef's kiss of approval. I love the way that it kind of just, like, again, the way it's sculpted, the way he has some of it going on the chair. Yeah, while we don't see all of it, I can, you know, tell that it looks just very well done. I do like the shading on his outfit. Like, again, there's some, like, darker shading on the red. He also has these, I guess, gauntlets, or like the things that are on his wrist that are silver. Yeah, very nice detail on there for such like smaller areas, and very nice silver on there as well. His eye is like very nicely done. How he just has this very piercing gaze, looks so handsome. And then the boots as well, again, very nice sculpt work on there with these little silver tassels. It does say in the instructions you do have to maybe be careful with these a little bit. They are flexible, but you could possibly break it off. And then going on to the chair itself, which I really love the sculpt work on it, and the sort of paint work that they did on it. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like a wooden chair, but yeah, the way they painted it in some areas are just like, you know, very nicely done. And even the back, you know, they gave some respect to that area of the figure with the design of it, the butterfly. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like clouds or something on the back. Yeah, the chair looks fantastic. I'm glad they gave as much love to him as they did the chair. And of course, the little bloodstream, really like the flow of that part, and then the butterfly on it, very nicely sculpted, and the transition color is very well done. So the one thing that me and some other people worry about with this figure is the drooping of this like bloodstream part with the butterfly on it, because if you know the infamous Weiwu Shen figure by Good Small Art Shanghai, it had a massive sagging issue because of heat. Like if you lived in a hot environment or if it was just summer, that part would just slowly droop, the top part and then like another part, and it just looked ridiculous. And it was kind of a shame that, you know, the material that they used was just not that good with heat. So hopefully with him, the same thing doesn't happen. It does feel like it's a lot more like solid than maybe that other piece. So yeah, with my copy of that Weiwu Shen figure, by the way, I did end up putting him back in his box because I just didn't want that whole thing to get worse. And I did see some people on my figure collection say that theirs hasn't really sagged at all or a lot. So hopefully that's a good sign, but I feel like you definitely gotta give it like a lot more time than like 2 months to see a difference. That's just me personally. So yeah, hopefully again, nothing happens to him in the future when I display him. And when summer once again rolls around, that he doesn't just, like, the whole thing doesn't flop over. Also very light, like I can hold this with like one hand pretty easily. So yes, this is absolutely amazing. If you love this character or the series that he's from, I highly recommend him. He just turned out fantastic. Again, another fantastic figure by Good Small Art Shanghai. And now we're moving on to the very last figure, which I actually picked up from a My Figure Collection user, and this is the Fate Grand Order Caster Merlin 1/8 scale figure by Alter for their Altair line. This was a figure I wanted for the longest time. It was just a matter of when I wanted to pick him up, and then also just finding him for a reasonable price. And you know, I decided to just bite the bullet and just buy him. I believe I paid like $170 for him, like total with the shipping included. So yes, I am super happy to finally have this man in my collection. He's one of my favorite FGO servants. So yes, this I believe is of his third ascension, if I'm not mistaken, the outfit design. So going into the assembly for this figure, so you just simply put him on the base, pretty easy, and then his staff is a separate piece, so you just have to pull it apart in one area to put in between his hand. And then I believe there's like this golden piece on here with like the red and like blue tassel attached that clips into the staff. So that's pretty easy. And then some optional parts he has is with the right hand you can display him with, I guess it's like a mini sword or dagger or something. That's what it's supposed to be. And then you just also have to, when you display him with that, it's just you remove the gold little piece on his staff with the red and blue tassel attached. And yeah, so very, you know, relatively easy assembly. So he turned out amazing. That's all I have to say with Alter's quality of figures, at least with the ones I have. And yeah, just so many amazing details like on his outfits, like the different colors on there, and just the, you know, the paint job is very well done. The gold as well, very clean. His face with his eyes, he just looks so handsome. And the hair sculpt as well, from like the front of him all the way to like the back, the way it just like all those individual pieces look so amazing. Be careful, some of them are sharp, so just be warned, but god, another handsome long-haired boy for my collection. I love it. Some people I think did complain a little bit that his hair is a little bit transparent. It's not like super transparent, but you can definitely tell. It doesn't really bother me too much. I think it actually looks a little bit cool. And yeah, the outfit again, fantastic sculpting and paint job. And the base is supposed to mimic like the way he looks in battle, where it's kind of like he's got this aura underneath his feet and then the flowers show up. So unfortunately with my copy, and you know, it was brand new, which also kind of sucks, is that like the base had like this little like mark underneath it. So I tried to kind of clean it up with some rubbing alcohol and I made it worse. So it's like, because I think the paint work is done underneath the base, and I just completely messed it trying to fix that spot, but you really can't notice it unless like I'm holding it up. Like I can like literally see it right now, but if I put it on my shelf, I really don't notice it. So yeah, that was my fault and not the person I bought it from's fault. And then also like the last thing that made me not want to pick him up like right away is the shipping for him. Like if you were to get him like on Ami Ami pre-owned or something, it's like 12,000 yen to just get him shipped. The box is absolutely massive. I feel like maybe they could have reduced the box size a little bit. So yeah, that's just another reason why I didn't pick him up like right away. It's because of that damn shipping cost. So I'm so happy I managed to pick up Merlin. He was definitely one of my grails on my wish list, and I'm happy to have picked him up for the price I did. He is an absolutely stunning figure in my collection. So that's gonna go ahead and conclude this video. I am quite happy with the figures and merch that I picked up. I feel like pretty solid figures. Like, I don't have really massive nitpicks or any issues with them, which is good. So yeah, I'm happy to have added these figures and merch items to my collection. So definitely let me know what were your favorite pickups from this video. Do you have any of these items that I have collected? I'd definitely love to know. Or what did you pick up for the month of August specifically? So if you do enjoy my content and would like to, of course, feel free to take the time to subscribe to my channel to see what other figure and merch related shenanigans I get into next. So thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are, and take it easy. Goodbye.